rolling.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Beach Bobcast podcast. This is Craziest Kraken, and today, unfortunately, our new host, Nettie the Noodle, could not make it. So we have to settle for Captain Reptile and the other co-host, On Fire 944.
What do you mean you have to settle for Captain Reptile?
Yeah, you have to settle for us losers.
The lower class. You are trying to replace me with Nettie.
Well, Cap, I don't think I really had much of a say in it. Like, it just kind of happened.
Is Nettie trying to overthrow as new podcast leader? Cause
Well, he did do the outro as, well, thanks for listening to my podcast.
Yeah, he literally
Wow.
said that.
wow,
Oh, that was funny.
wow, okay. I
That was
see how it
very
is.
funny.
I see how it is. I will remember this.
Captain Reptile will remember that. So we have a bit of a special plan for today's episode, guys. So, in the first half of the episode, we are going to talk more Ark II stuff, speculation. That's, just the usual kind of stuff. And in the second half, we're going to talk about our thoughts on Jurassic World Dominion. Because, hey, that's another dinosaur-related thing. That could be pretty fun.
Yes.
And to really spice things up, me and Captain Reptile are drinking alcohol.
Yeah, this should be interesting. We'll have to see how this goes. So, if it gets a bit off by the end of the podcast, that's why. But we'll see.
I'm excited. It'll be fun. It'll be a lot of good fun.
If you hear me slurping out of my big cup over here, I apologize. It just has to happen.
Just the Minecraft, like, hold on.
yeah. yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
that was icky. I do not want to do that again. But yes, Cap was not here last week. We discussed with Nettie the Noodle the new Ark II trailer that came out, the Ark II Steam page. We went over the new Ark the Animated Series images that have been revealed, which look really good. I'm super excited for that. And I'm sure there was more. Yeah, of course, Fjordor and all that.
Four-door, Fugidor, four-door.
Fugitive Doors, yeah.
Doors of Fugitive, yeah. I don't know. People call it so many different names. I've always called it Fjordor. Fjordor?
Fudgedor.
Fudgedor.
A really distorted way of saying fuck Thor.
Fuck Thor. Speaking of which, the new Thor powers that come with the hammer.
Excuse me? Speaking of which.
Yeah, speaking of.
Yeah, they
no.
added Thor's hammered arc.
Yeah, they did, and they made it level 190 to be able to use it. So there's that.
Yes, basically have to like do everything in the game
Yeah.
just to be able to hold this thing. Beat every boss, get every explorer note.
To be
every
fair,
rune
though,
on
I
board.
guess that is character with being worthy of using it.
That is true, but still. Like, if you just play Fjordur, you can't even get it. You have to play every other DLC.
What the hell? Side note, I just clicked on my name in our podcast, and it says that I'm listening to Warriors by Imagine Dragons on Spotify. I have to assure you that I'm not. So I
it
don't
says you
know.
listen to it right here.
Yeah, Warriors by Imagine Dragons on
It
Smoke
says
and
that
Meals
it's actively
Deluxe.
playing, but like I can take a screenshot right now of my like desktop open tabs. There's not a Spotify open on here.
Actually, it says Krakenist Crazy is watching Warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on. Let me quick. Do I have admin powers?
We all
Admin
have
powers.
nicknames. We all
I
got
put admin
names.
powers.
Actually, we don't have names. Yours is the only name that's different. no, I'm looking at it.
Boom.
Oh, you're no fun.
Should give nicknames to everybody. We could go Nettie the Noodle, name him like Mr. Noodle.
Everyone should be the opposite of what their actual name is. So Captain
Oh, gosh.
Reptile should be like Admiral Alligator. Craziest Kraken
Admiral
should be
Mammal.
Craziest
Sane
Kraken should be,
octopus.
like mentally sane cephalopod.
Yeah.
On Fire 944 should be Underwater 944 or 499. Up from the depths should be down
Down from the sky.
down from the sky or something. That could be funny. That could be fun.
Nettie the Noodle will be Timmy the soup. I don't know. What's the opposite of a noodle?
That's why I skipped that one. Boo.
I don't know that one. What's the opposite of a noodle?
Captain Fat Dog could be like Commander Slim Cat.
Yeah, Private Slim Cat. I don't like that one. I take that back.
September Duck could be like April Goose.
Blue Dragon will be
Already
green fish.
green fish. Man, yeah, so opposite of a dragon is a fish for you.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. What's the opposite of a dragon, huh?
It would be Red Drake.
No, that's still...
Red Wyvern.
That is classified as a dragon.
Red Griffin.
There you go. That's better.
Natural causes could just be gunshot. Like, instead of dying of natural causes, you've been killed by a gunshot.
Still a degree model.
Or it could just be unnatural causes.
Unnatural reasons.
Unnatural causes. I like that. That's good.
How many people here have Ark II wish listed?
Probably all of us.
I don't have a Steam account.
Right, so he's out, but he would if he did.
Yeah.
I'm one of them.
So it's yes, but no.
Well, yes, but
actually
no.
I have it wish listed in my heart.
It's so weird
that's all that matters.
The developer, one of the developers on Ark II is Grove Street Games. But Grove Street Games is the ones who did the new GTA remasters.
Oh no!
And they also did the...
That's not true.
It is true. And they also did the Ark Mobile on phone. So
I do not like either of those titles.
I wonder if they... Because Ark 2 is going to be a mobile game. I wonder if they're going to take over the mobile section. Hopefully that's all they do.
Whoa. Ark 2 is on mobile?
They announced it, yeah.
That's not a good sign.
Yeah, no, they announced that Ark 2 is going to be a mobile game as well.
That's not a good sign.
Yeah, Unreal Engine 5 with the graphics like that on mobile.
On a mobile phone? Dude, you might as well be playing that on a potato.
Now you're going to be playing like on the sun. Your phone is just going to like explode.
Your phone is going to start making PlayStation noises.
Yeah.
Like,
dude, I didn't realize I had a flight plan for today. Taking off on a Boeing 747.
It'll start popping up in like survival videos, like, so you've crossed in the Atlantic Desert. Or, Atlantic Desert, wow, F that one up. The Antarctic Plains, and you need warmth for survival.
Atlantic Desert.
Good news for you, you can download Ark 2 on your mobile device, and it will instantly start a fire.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's going to be
Desert, Jesus.
Atlantic Desert.
I also want to point out, we just started drinking. We're not drunk going in.
No. I maybe have taken like 3 sips before this started.
I just cracked open my first drink, and it still has 3/4 left in it. So, like, that Atlantic Desert, that was a completely sober what the F moment.
We even started? Like, we haven't even been talking about Ark.
We're talking about how to start a fire with Ark 2.
Yeah. And we talked about the developers. And then we're talking about opposite names for people.
We'll have to cut that or put that at the end of the video or as like the intro. It'll be fine.
No, this whole thing's the intro.
No, I don't.
The longest intro.
It's probably not a good idea.
No, this is just the small talk portion. You know, this is pre-game to the pre-game. Actually, no, we already had pre-game to the pre-game.
This is the post-pre-game.
Post-pre-game. There you go.
I want to point out that on the Ark 2 Steam page, I haven't really seen many people mentioning this part of it, but it states there's an epic story starring Vin Diesel and his daughter in the game, Mika.
Yeah.
I'm almost thinking that this confirms that there's gonna be like a campaign element or something. Like, I mean, that's as it sounds to me.
Dude, I'm just mind blown that they got Moana in here. They took a Disney character and threw into an Ark 2.
They put the Disney character in the Ark 2.
But, no, yeah, back onto the whole...
Alright, so we got Vin Diesel, though, but can we get The Rock?
I I think from my understanding, no, it wasn't Vin Diesel. Oh, is it? I think Vin Diesel and The Rock have beef. I know Vin Diesel, not Vin Diesel. I know The Rock and what's the other guy's name? I was gonna say the bald guy, but that's like half
Very
the cast
descriptive,
of
Cap.
Fast franchise.
Yeah, very.
What's his name? Starts with a
Jason
T.
Statham?
No. Starts with a T. He's one of the main characters of the Fast franchise. If you've seen the most recent one, I guess I don't know what the most recent one
It's
is
over,
nowadays.
man.
No, I'm
you
still
lost the
going.
momentum.
No, I'm still going. I got it. The submarine movie, you know, the Fast movie with the submarine in it. You know, with the evil blonde chick. Have you seen that one? Have you seen?
I've seen them all like once and then never again afterwards.
What's his name?
John Cena?
No, what?
I don't know.
Yeah, John's.
That was the last one I saw.
Which one was it? Was it Fast 8?
It went to like the moon.
It was Fast 8. Thank you very much. What's his name, dude? Oh, Tyrese Gibson, Roman Peels. I think he's got beef. I know Dwayne The Rock Johnson has beef with Tyrese Gibson.
Okay, fantastic.
That's
Great
all
Ark II news.
That's all I was getting.
Great
That's
Ark
all,
II.
that's all I was trying to get, dude. That's all I was trying to get, though.
But beyond just the story elements, there's two other really interesting portions of this that people haven't memed to death. Like, obviously, the third person and Souls-like combat
I'm
are
excited for that.
pretty hot
Yeah.
topics in the
Souls-like.
community right now.
The
But-
third person iffy.
revolutionary cross-platform modding with fully stackable user-created mods for new creatures, items, gameplay features, and maps that are distributed across all platforms.
I'm pretty
And
excited
support
about that
for
one.
unofficial servers. So in my opinion, this sounds exactly like what Bethesda has done with Fallout 4 and Skyrim Special Edition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which means S Plus for console, baby!
And Ark Editions. Even
So-
there's Ark Editions.
So
Ark 2 edition.
when do we get Fjordo 2 for Ark 2?
If you order two, huh?
It's just an exact one-to-one report of the original map. But like it's super
You know
fucked
people are
because
gonna
it's a
do that.
different engine.
People are gonna like mod all the old maps into the new game.
And they're instantly gonna be the most played maps because that's just how
Yeah.
it works.
Yeah, it's just whoever gets the first island port is gonna have the most played mod map.
Yeah. If it's
Let's
allowed.
be real,
the
probably
first
this is
drag
the
port.
most played mod in general.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be like a port.
I don't know, dude. If somebody can recreate Anunnaki Genesis or Extinction Core into Ark 2, that's gonna blow it out of the water. Because until recently, Anunnaki Genesis was still the #1 downloaded mod on the Ark Steam Workshop.
Yeah, bro.
I'm struggling right now. The mod
Man,
that
Cap's
finally
lightweight
overtook
confirmed?
it. I am not. Thank you very much. The map mod. Fuck. Give me a second.
I am not. Fuck! Immediate.
The map. Oh my lord, dude. The mod that overtook Anunnaki Genesis was Primal Field. They finally did it. That's what I was trying to get to.
Yeah, Primal Field is my favorite map, as well as Atlantic Desert.
Oh my god. You're not helping.
Thanks, Upfire. Love that callback. Hey, if anyone wants to commission an Atlantic Desert mod for me,
Dude,
just the entirety of the Atlantic Ocean, but sand.
that's just scorched earth. What are you talking about?
Oh, there you go. See, it exists. It's real.
I'm so glad
back
that
to the
fire
Ark
is
2
here to
portion.
throw us on the bus like that.
They name drop what the orc aliens are in the trailer. They are apparently called the Atari. No, the
Aratai.
Aratai,
Something
yeah.
like that. Because
I
the
have no idea how to
planet,
pronounce it.
the planet is called Erati.
Arat. Oh,
Arat.
it's just like a rat.
Yeah, rat. That's what it is. Yeah, a rat.
A rat.
A rat.
Just a giant
Crisp
rat.
Just a giant rat.
Awesome.
I'm super excited to see them riding around on their own dinosaurs, though. Like, imagine you're just minding your own business
Yeah, it's also
and
gonna be really scary when you're walking around, and then all of a sudden these giant orc things come running around, and
Exactly.
T-Rex come kill you.
They
And then you
fucking
get your 600 mutation stat gigos to just wipe them out.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so what I hope they do is obviously like what games nowadays do is the difficulty scales. So the more dinos you tame, so let's say you tame a T-Rex, boom, they start showing up on T-Rexes too.
Oh gosh.
I think that'd be really fun. It would make it so you pick and
It's
choose
the
what dinos
Aratai
you
with the
get.
600 mutation
Oh,
stat
no.
giga.
Can you tame the Aratai though? Like Conan Exiles,
Submissive
just make
and
them your
breedable,
slave.
it seems. Yes.
Yeah, I hate this. Can we move on to the
Submitting
next
to
topic?
your will, and then you breed them for stats. What do you?
That's
Get your
why
mind out
Vin
of the
Diesel
gutter,
doesn't
Cap.
leave.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
That's why he
Mhm.
hasn't left yet.
I mean, like I said, that's what Conan Exiles is like. You could literally just make people your slave. So you could do that in Ark, and then you just have a personal guard with you.
Jesus, that sounds rough. What's this game
Whoa.
rated?
Whoa.
Because you have to like torture them in order to make them your slave, I think.
I do not see any rating on here yet.
Oh, wow, this is interesting. What the hell?
What have you? What?
So Jesse and Jeremy, the founders of Ark, have have like a big message to the community of what they want for Ark 2, and I'm gonna read out this paragraph that I found. It
Wait,
says,
is this new?
well, it's in that big list that's up on the Steam like update page when you go to your library.
Okay.
It says, foremost among these redesigned... Well, okay, so the thing above it says, with Ark 2, we're seeking not only to enhance the game's narrative and world building, but also retouch and improve on all aspects of what constitutes an Ark game. Foremost among these redesigns are the core player mechanics, and the sequel, which is third person only, controls and movement for both players and creatures have been completely redesigned, taking inspiration from game systems like Assassin's Creed's automatic parkour and Breath of the Wild's climbing. Player characters can now clamber over the environment in a more realistic and free-form manner. With a focus on primitive-era combat, Santiago and tech have a complicated relationship. So it sounds like Santiago's refusing to use tech, is what that sounds like. Ark 2 draws heavily from Souls-like action for its human-scale combat, an emphasis on dodges, block, light and heavy attacks, combos, and player reflex skill. A rarity for the PvP survival genre. For creature scale combat, suffice to say for now that when you attack something with the T-Rex in Ark 2, the results are visceral. The animation of the attack actually hard impacts on the target, not passing through it. The victim's flesh is torn, and the target physically reacts at that location to the hit, all to convey a feeling of the raw power of such a ferocious creature.
I mean, that sounds pretty intense.
Yeah, no, that's one thing Ark 1 needed was, like, body damage to that specific area that's being attacked. I think that was something that was
it's like
missing.
hitting something and then its entire body is covered in blood.
Yeah,
somehow.
like you hit a dodo in the face with a stone and it's just blood gushing out of it for no reason.
Or it's starving to death and somehow there's blood everywhere.
Yeah.
Or when you get too hot and then break your leg. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It reminds me of that Neebs Gaming Ark in a
Yes.
nutshell. Freezing and overheating just breaks his leg.
Yes, that is very funny. I don't know. I always get nervous with games like Ark 2 because it sounds like it's a really ambitious title.
Sounds too
New
good to
engine,
be true.
it sounds too good to be true. Yes. And essentially, I'm going in cautiously optimistic. I would love this game to be like fantastic, but it's a wait and see from me.
As would I, and the only reason I'm going in as cautious as I am is because of games like Dying Light 2. Dying Light 2 was a much needed sequel, but it needed some stuff. It needed to be a little bit more
preferred
worked.
the first.
Exactly, that's exactly how I am too. I was like, you know what, the second one's fun, but I would much rather go back and play the first one. The first one has a much better feel to it as a zombie game compared to what the second one does. What about you, Fire? How are you going into Ark 2?
I don't know. I am a little bit cautious because of some of the things, like the third person, but the new movement and stuff sounds interesting. They could end up screwing it up. You never know. But we'll just have to see more. Because right now, we're just going off what they said, and that could go either way.
Can I just say, I'm not trying to take over, but can I just say how disappointed I am in the freaking showing of Ark II? We just got a second glorified channel. A second glorified trailer. What the hell was that?
Short. Everyone was expecting it to be way longer.
Where's the gameplay?
I really want a gameplay trailer. That once we get the gameplay trailer, we can make more of a conclusion on.
Oh yeah, for
how
sure.
This game's gonna end up being. So right now we're just seeing cinematic trailers, and you can't really.
Well, and how can they go? And I appreciate cinematic trailers, but if it's just second trailer, it should be a gameplay. And how can they go from Ark 1, the very first trailer for the game that was dropped was a gameplay trailer. People were hyped for it because that's what it was. People saw how the game was going to be right away. And then they go to a cinematic trailer 2 times in a row now, and people are getting skeptical about what the game's going to be like. They have all these promises, but there's no guarantee they're going to hit it without that gameplay trailer. And they need to drop it much faster than...
And I'm only catching the very tail end of this conversation, but I completely agree.
Yeah.
Now, another game in very recent history that I have a complicated relationship with, we'll just leave it with that, is Halo Infinite. Now,
yeah.
It has had the exact verbatim problem that you just described. Its first, I want to say 3 trailers were all pre-rendered cutscenes. Which, yeah, they look great. Oh, it's got all these promises. But the second we saw real gameplay, they delayed the game.
Well, so to be fair, now hold on. I will say, to be fair, in Halo's, defense. God, what is with me today? In Halo's defense, they showed the gameplay, and the community was like, "No, what is this? Change it." And so they're like, "I bet, give us a year," and that's exactly what we did. And then it came out to be one of the better Halo. I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna be hot.
No Forge, no co-op, no file share, no career.
Hold on. Slow down. It turned out to be, gameplay-wise, movement style, and all that, one of the better Halos. Now, content-wise, that's a completely different story. And I will admit, it became one of the worst Halos because it was very dry at the beginning. It's still dry now. But yeah, it needs a lot. But I do think it's going to get what it needs here after a while. Now, Ark 2 can do the same thing. They can either have a lot of content at the beginning, or they can throw out a game that's bone dry, people will buy, get upset over, and then they update it shortly after, just like what Battlefield does. I hope it's the latter. I hope they throw out content left and right, like what Dying Light does. I don't think I've ever met a dev studio that took care of their game as much as Dying Light did, because they still make content for their game. The very first game.
No, Dying Light devs are great. I love those guys.
I love them. They are amazing. Which is what's giving me hope for Dying Light 2. But I really hope the Ark devs have really stepped up their game with their constant DLCs, and while they are of course paid for, they need money to make new stuff.
Now, the next piece of news we're going to hear is that Ark 2 is taking it into a free-to-play direction.
No. It cannot be a live service. I swear. I will get
Ark 2 Season 15 Halo crossover.
Just ready for the Ark 2 Battle Pass.
Oh my god. Complete Battle Pass 100, get a free T-Rex egg.
You get the Giga Saddle.
Oh my god, dude. I thought the mobile game was going to do that.
You get all your blueprints from the Battle Pass.
Better play fast, because at the end of the season, the Battle Pass is gone forever.
You know,
oh gosh,
I expect to see a Fortnite skin of Santiago. Just throwing it out there now.
I think I really will.
Dude, I would buy it just for shits and giggles.
They already have my boy, the Master Chief,
they really
in
do.
there, and it feels like a war crime.
They got Kratos in
Well,
there
yeah,
for crying
probably
out
do
loud.
because
Who
everyone
gives a
knows
shit about
Master Chief got from
Kratos, though?
Fortnite.
Well, no. So like, if you obviously like look at Kratos, he's a big beefy god killer, and he's over here doing the Fortnite dance. Like seriously.
I want you to watch the cutscene in Halo 4 where Cortana dies.
I have.
And then immediately after, go to a YouTube compilation of Master Chief doing every Fortnite. And I want you to just, absolutely decimates the character. Butchered him.
I just imagined like.
And then I want you to, after that video, watch episode 8 of the Halo TV show.
No. I just imagine like Cortana dies and Master Chief just breaks out the Fortnite dance.
Just does take the L.
He starts doing the L. He sees her like fade away into the fog, and then just starts doing the L.
It just starts.
At the very end of the
flossing.
game, he's talking to Lasky, and like Lasky's like, Chief, I don't have any idea what you're going through, and he's like, our duty as soldiers is to protect humanity, and then he starts doing the L dance, whatever the cost.
Gosh, it reminds me because they just added Darth Vader.
Oh, they
And
did.
I just opened like.
What a
Twitter
damn
one time, and
shame.
I just see a picture of Darth Vader doing a selfie, like holding out his phone with the peace symbol.
Okay. Somebody mods Master Chief and Darth Vader into the SpiderMan PS4, but on PC. So you have him doing like the
Dude.
selfie pose at the top of the Empire State Building.
Just gives us a gravity hammer on Spider-Man.
Yikes.
Oh, dude, that'd be amazing.
Oh god, Chief does have a grapple hook now. Fuck! No, wait, no. All modders, stop listening right now and delete that from your memory.
Dude, I remember seeing when God of War was announced for PC. By the way, we have not once talked about Dominion yet, but I remember when God of War was announced for PC, that the very first picture I saw was models day one, and it's Yoda and then Grogu as Atreus. And I thought I would play the hell out of that. And I beat God of War. And I'm just waiting for the mods. Why? No, stop.
It still says I'm listening to Imagine Dragons. Why?
Somebody's on your account. Yeah, I like
Somebody
that
is on
song.
my account. What the
Do you have it on your phone? Is it playing on your phone?
No.
Oh, now you're not playing
For
it.
some reason, I just turned off the setting. My friend Parker's Spotify is linked to my Discord? What the fuck? Why? Anyways, moving on though.
Alright, to Dominion, we talked enough. Well, actually, we didn't talk anything about Ark besides the devs and stuff.
Talk shit
We
about
talked about
Ark.
Ark II.
No, we didn't. We need to talk about, like, if they... Do you guys think they're going to continue product with, content with Ark 1 after
I
Ark 2
think
drops?
if they do, it will be handed over to the community. Like, they will add just, like, I don't know, a couple of, like, community mod managers that will just add random shit. If they do.
Okay.
I don't think they're gonna continue.
Yeah, I definitely think the models are going to take it over.
Yeah. If they ever did, then that would be it. I do hope Ark 2 has more concept updates, like when Ark first came out, and like
Oh,
they
me
were adding
too,
new
man.
dinosaurs
Me
every
too.
month.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I miss
was
that, dude.
lit. I do too, and I hope they bring that back with Ark 2, where they can actually start adding new dinos. all the
I want to
time.
give a shout out to a YouTuber that gave us a lot of hype in those days. His name was Frasonus. I don't know if he
Yes.
still uploads or not,
He
but
does.
he would always load stuff into the dev kit and then like play their animations and put on all their textures and stuff. So it was like almost like a early access look at what all the new creatures would look like.
He wasn't the only one. The other one that would do that was Every Night Riot would do that.
Yeah, he would do that too.
And Anthomnia, I guess, would every once in a while. But other than that, yeah, I think those are really the only people. Let me see. Is Persona still uploading? So do you guys see any sort of? Oh, he is actually. He is still uploading. He's doing a lot of streaming. He hasn't really uploaded anything.
Yeah, shout out to Frasonus. If
Yeah,
you
for
happen to
stars.
listen, absolutely come on to the podcast, bro.
We'd love to have you. Yeah, he does a lot of streams. His last video was a year ago. And then everything else is streams. That's okay. No
Well,
problem
that's
with
fair.
that.
Yeah, you stream a lot.
I do stream
I'd
a
like
lot.
to get into the streaming game. I have a very chaotic schedule. I don't know if I could like commit fully to like a dedicated like, hey, every Thursday and Friday we stream. So I haven't really entered into that forte.
Twitch.tv
I've been
slash
streaming
Big
the
Crypto.
100 days if you order.
Fjorgador.
Fun. I did that with Lost Island and Aberration too.
Yeah, very nice.
Fujioro.
Pretty fun.
So this is awkward.
So Cap, how many drinks have you had?
I'm still on my one, but this is a really big cup. and
Do
drank
I
about
need to
half
slow
of it.
down?
Do you plan on drinking after the podcast?
Yes.
You probably should, because I'm about halfway done with this cup, and I'm not feeling it yet.
I'm on my fourth beverage. I'm kidding. I have had one, and I'm about halfway through my second. And it's just light beer. It's not like nothing too cray.
Fail. So we don't think Ark 1's gonna get any more updates after, like content updates after Ark 2 comes out. What sort of updates do you guys think Ark 2 is going to get when it first comes out? Besides, of course, the obvious bug patches and stuff a year after it releases.
Okay, if I'm being optimistic, new creatures, new weapons, new maps, yada yada. If I'm being realistic, bug fixes, quality of life, and things that should have been in the game when it launched.
Yes. I will say I would much rather take bug fixes over new content right off the bat, but of course a month or two after it comes out, I would like to see...
Only if it's a buggy game, though. If you
That's
simply
fair.
don't release a buggy game, you don't need to do that.
Well, okay, so the only reason I'd see Ark 2 running better than Ark 1 is because, one, they're much more experienced now. They have a much bigger team. And Ark 1 was released and made in 7 to 10 months. And so they're giving this game much more time. They could have released it now, I would assume. I would like to think. I bet they could release it now as an open beta, and they're just choosing not to.
I optimistically would like to hope so, but once again, realistically think that the game is probably in an unplayable state currently. Otherwise, I feel we would have seen gameplay on it.
NDA, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I feel like we got a bit of a John Hammond, Ian Malcolm thing. Like, you're like, oh, they're going to add all this stuff. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be fantastic. And I'm like, it's going to be shit. The game is not playable.
Hey, it's nice to have both sides of the spectrum. Now you just need On Fire to be the middle ground.
Yeah, I guess I am kind of in the middle on that. I don't really...
So you're the Dr. Grant. We have not a slightest idea what could possibly happen.
On Fire is just like, it could be either or.
So, yeah, I mean, unfortunately, we're sort of into the same boat now, where there's really not a whole lot more to talk about news-wise. However,
it's all a waiting
Jurassic
game.
World Dominion.
Oh man, can I just?
So,
you go first.
go ahead.
You know what? Let's do a round table. Who wants to go first?
On Fire. How about you go first?
All right. In my opinion, first off, I think the critics are like completely ridiculous on this movie. I mean, I don't know.
I would agree. The critics are far too harsh.
Yeah, it's like we're watching a movie about dinosaurs eating people. I don't understand why people are so fed up.
It's the same thing with Godzilla King of the Monsters. I love that movie. Fantastic.
I do too.
And the critics have the audacity, there's too many monsters and not enough people.
It's Godzilla King of the Monsters all over again.
Sir, what were you expecting? An Oscar-winning movie? It's about Godzilla. Come on, man.
Hey now, a Godzilla movie could be Oscar-winning.
Name one.
Godzilla 1998.
Really?
Oh gosh.
No, I'm joking.
Really?
Look,
That's
okay.
the one you went with.
Look, I actually do still enjoy watching that movie as a monster
Oh,
movie.
I love that movie. I grew up with that movie.
Exactly,
I
me too.
absolutely adore that movie. Is it a good movie? Oh, hell no.
No.
Not by any means. But it's a very entertaining movie.
Yeah. All right, Kraken, what did you think of Dominion?
Cap, why don't you go next?
Okay, me. So not to spoil too much, the very ending fight, the outcome of it was a shock to me. The beginning of that fight was very. The movie as a whole, I love the movie. Don't get me wrong. I would say it's a solid 8 to 9 out of 10. That's just my opinion. But the very end fight was very predictable. I saw how it could turn out, except for when the one part came in.
One part came in.
Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about.
Predict that.
I saw a video by Clayton Fioriti, which again, great channel, great YouTuber. Followed him for a long time. He exclusively does Jurassic Park and Jurassic World.
Yeah, I watch him.
News updates and theories and stuff. Again, if you'd like to be on the podcast, Clayton, reach out.
If you listen to this podcast, reach out to us, please.
This obscure podcast with like 4 listeners, but yeah, no.
Yeah. Hey,
The
most recent one got 31 views. Thank you very much.
Oh wow, that's phenomenal.
Look,
How many of those are from us checking the comments?
Every single one of our episodes so far has reached over 100 views. Okay, on YouTube.
Except this one.
Not yet. Anyway,
But,
keep going.
okay, so he made a very good point. Dominion would have been a lot better had they had included the cut prologue to the film.
Yes,
Because
that's
the
exactly what I was
problem
thinking too.
Is the finale of the movie feels a little bit empty without the context of the prologue.
Yeah.
And I feel the pacing at the beginning could have also been improved with the addition of the prologue.
Yeah.
So we have briefly touched about my feelings, not recording, just over Discord, and I apparently have a not popular opinion. I was not a huge fan of Jurassic World Dominion, and I am a huge Jurassic Park fan. But to quote the great Ian Malcolm, it felt a little bit as though they were preoccupied with whether or not they could make the movie. They didn't stop to think if they should make the movie. Does that make sense?
It does, and the only thing I would think is that they made this movie as a sign-off to the original characters.
And I get that. And they didn't do anything like... They didn't pull a Star Wars. They didn't botch the original characters.
No, they didn't.
And they
They
didn't
gave-
kill the original characters.
They made
so
them
if nothing else, I can respect that.
Yeah.
If there's anything I could rant about for hours, it'd be the new Star Wars movies. So
Yeah, let's not get that started.
yeah, I'm gonna turn into Kraken complaining about the Star Wars movies. So
Okay, let me just... 45 minutes later. And that's essentially it, though, honestly. All right, next time.
No,
Jurassic
so
World Dominion did a lot of things very well, but I feel like it could have benefited from cutting a couple of non-relevant plot points and giving more time to the characters to actually interact with one another.
yes.
yeah,
I love Chris Pratt and I love Bryce Dallas Howard, but I've never really liked the characters of Owen and Claire that much. Like, you think, okay, Dr. Grant, he's a paleontologist. He does not like kids. He learns to love kids. He kind of had a thing for Ellie and then didn't. And he hates InGen and the dinosaurs, which makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Malcolm, chaotician. He's all about the chaos. If it will go wrong, or if it can go wrong, it will go wrong. Et cetera, et cetera. He's kind of a ladies' man, He's got a bunch of kids. Yeah, he loves kids. He's horrified of the dinosaurs. Again, makes sense. They've got stuff to them. What is Owen Grady?
Raptor trainer.
Raptor Man. Okay.
Raptor
Owen
Man.
Grady is
Rides
Raptor
motorcycles with
Man.
raptors.
What is Claire Deering?
The
That's a
ex-lead.
long pause, fella.
Well, the ex-lead scientist of. She was a showrunner of Jurassic World. Or Jurassic World.
She was management woman in
Yes,
the first movie,
exactly.
and in the
It
next
didn't
two
seem to do
movies,
very good.
She was
like,
the dino savior.
she was like
We can't
social
let the
justice
dinosaurs
dinosaur
die.
lady.
Well, okay,
Yeah.
so My own.
felt like realistically it should have been a different character, but they're like, oh, I mean, we need Claire in this movie. Rewrite that character, but just make it Claire.
Now hold on. So the only gripe I have with that is she does say in Fallen Kingdom, even though that was still to this day, in my opinion, don't fire me for this. That's still one of the worst Jurassic World
for your own
movies.
podcast?
Yeah.
we're
How about
fine
this
with
is the
Daddy
hot
the
take.
Noodle.
I do not think Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is the worst movie in the franchise. I think it is the second
I think
worst.
Second. Okay. No. Okay. Anyway.
I think the worst movie in the franchise is the Lost World Jurassic Park.
To be honest, I haven't seen
Yeah.
Lost World in so long.
You know-
And a lot of people would literally crucify me for saying
You know what?
Yeah, I know they would.
I slightly agree with you on that. The only reason I like that movie is because of the dinosaur scenes where they are chasing them down in their vehicles. But I lost my train of thought. Oh, in Fallen Kingdom, Claire says, "I'm doing this to rectify myself because I know I've made mistakes." That is why she turns
How about
into the
this? How about
dinosaur
this?
savior.
How about instead of saving the dinosaurs that presumably killed hundreds of people in the first movie, you let them die and go to prison
Listen, those people
for
were just
failing to manage that part?
those people were collateral. It's fine, okay? The family got paid, got swept under the rug by corporate. It's fine. It never happened.
Yep, something like that.
Back to the topic of Dominion, though. We can possibly touch on the other movies afterwards, but I think it didn't give... Because the best parts of Dominion were the new characters interacting with the old characters. Chris Pratt and Dr. Grant talking about raptors. And, Ellie and Claire had a really cool scene together
Mm-hmm.
in, like, a server room. I guess that's kind of spoilery.
Okay, hold
Should we
on.
put up a spoiler warning?
Yes, this is your official
Yes.
spoiler warning. You have 10 seconds to skip forward past all this, otherwise this is going to be a spoiler for Jurassic World Dominion. Go ahead,
I
Crackler.
feel like
Still gonna have people
if you're a
complaining,
fan,
though.
you've seen it by now. I
Exactly.
mean, that's all
Yeah.
it boils down to.
But if you don't want spoilers, skip ahead. That's about it.
So, my biggest problem with the movie is realistically 3 things, but 2 of them are almost the same one. So, 2 things. 1, the Locust plot is incredibly lame, uninspired, and feels extremely disconnected from the rest of the franchise.
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it.
That's
but,
fair.
Like, I feel like they could
Okay,
have come up with something
hold on. So, the
cooler.
Locust plot would have worked much better if it had not been the final movie.
That is true.
Can I just
I feel
say
like what?
that the ending of Dominion has the potential to be set up for another movie. Now, I understand
Of
it.
course.
I understand it's probably going to be the last one. Maybe they'll do a series out of it. I don't know, but
course
it
they're
does
going
feel
to. It's a
like
billion-dollar franchise.
I know, but I
Yeah,
do
or
feel
they
like there
end it.
may be another one coming.
I feel like there is. The way they ended it, it's like it doesn't feel like it's the end. Of,
Yeah, they were
it feels
like-
they can keep going.
Yeah, they
Here's a
were
cool
like,
fact
let's
for
let the
Dominion, though.
dinosaurs live with everybody else, but we want to
So-
see what happens after that.
When Rexy at the end is doing her iconic Tyrannosaur roar, the other 2 T-Rexes in that shot are the Buck and Doe from the Lost
Yeah.
World.
Yep, it is.
Colin Trevorrow said so on Twitter.
I noticed that. I looked at them, and I'm like, why the fuck are there more T-Rexes? And I remember the Lost World Rexes. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
I almost feel like my main problem with the movie Dominion it's sort of the same problem I had with both sequels to Jurassic World, and that is a sort of lack of focus. A lot of the problems I think could have been negated if they had sort of had a concrete plan laid out from the start.
So, yes.
So, like
That's
for
something
example, or go ahead, On Fire first.
I was gonna say that's like something I could rant about with this new Star Wars movie.
Mhm.
Is that when they started, they had literally no plan at all, and you can definitely see like because they just flip flop directors, and then you got all of these like no plan at all.
Yeah, and that's always really unfortunate when that happens.
Yeah,
But Jurassic World Dominion, in so many ways, almost feels like the first movie in a new trilogy instead of the last movie in a trilogy. Like, I understand there was fan backlash about hybrid dinosaurs, which is understandable. It kind of, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I liked it. I didn't hate it.
I liked it too.
But to then cut that for the final movie, and instead of the Giga not having like the Indocleoceratops or something, just ridiculous, like the Diabolus, or not Diabolus, what is it? The Ultimasaurus as the big main like final hybrid. It felt lame and like anticlimactic to me. Like, oh, come on, what? Why? And then like certain elements of it, like Blue was barely in the movie at all, and she was essentially a main character in the first two movies. That felt weird to me, kind of lame, kind of anticlimactic. As much as I love the character of Dodgson, once again, I feel like they butchered Dr. Wu, who was built up this entire time as the new big bad, only to, in between movies, essentially become a different character. Like, think of the entire movie of Dominion, except Dodgson is Dr. Wu.
Yeah.
That creates a more satisfying narrative.
So watching the Jurassic, the entire series of Jurassic Park and Jurassic World, I never looked at Dr. Wu as the bad guy. I looked at him as more.
Really did either.
Yeah, I looked at him as more of a man just trying to make means with his science. And unfortunately, he got sucked into these teams that used his abilities for bad. So he was much more of just the lead scientist, while everyone else is the one making the bad choices.
Yeah, I always saw him as like a good dude that kept getting used by the bad guys, like in the simple terms. Like, wasn't trying to do anything bad, but just was in the wrong situation.
I mean, I guess I see that to an extent. Like, I don't necessarily see him as an evil character, but I see him as sort of a character who's a little bit too high on himself. Like, with a bit of a god complex, kind of. Like, my creations are changing the world forever. That type of, high horsitude, if that makes sense. I don't know.
No,
because
I get
the way,
that.
like, he doesn't seem like a good guy to me. Like, look at him in Fallen Kingdom, the way he's just screaming at people. And in, Camp Cretaceous, where he's just definitely not a great dude. To then in, Dominion, just see this sad, like, hobo guy with a briefcase, like, take me with you. It's like, that is so lame. I think they should have at least killed him off. He should have been stepped on by the Giga or eaten by, like, the locusts or something. I don't know.
Eaten by a locust.
Yeah, but to be fair in that sense, like, if they had eaten, if the locusts had eaten Dr. Wu, why didn't they eat Ellie and Alan, Like, they were in the same situation.
I don't know. Maybe he spilled a vat of Indominus DNA on him and he smelled good or something. I don't know.
That's just too much explaining. It was easier to keep him alive in a storytelling point of view.
Or just eaten by Giga.
Well, yeah. But at that point, at that point in time in that section, it's like they're dead. Not dead. He is a small man. He has stepped down from his high horse, and he is just one with the lower class at this point, begging for help to be rescued.
Yeah, but they had no idea that he wasn't gonna just leave and then go make more dinosaurs. That's all he's done in the story up to this point.
He keeps being hired by different people. I mean, so his whole point of that story, though, was he wants to start healing people. He wants to get Maisie's DNA so that he can.
In this movie, yes. In the last two movies, absolutely not.
Well, he explained why he made the dinos. He explains that he's like, the reason I started making these dinosaurs was because of Maisie's mother. She inspired him to start doing this to, push forward with his research. And unfortunately...
Cap, you're about to make me morb here.
Hold on.
Maisie's mother.
Hold on.
Charlotte Locke.
Hold on. I'm still going.
Finish him.
Hold your horses. The unfortunate thing about Dr. Wu is he really wanted to use his science to push on with Maisie's the clone. No, actually, she's the clone. I don't know, whatever she is. Maisie's mother, as she's called. He wanted to push on with her science and his own science, and unfortunately, the only way he could do that was to be hired by somebody to use it for a specific reason, and therefore that's why he got hired on by the Lockwood Manor guy, or Jurassic World World people.
However, Charlotte Lockwood was my favorite character from the Lost World Jurassic Park. I really loved her cameo in Jurassic Park 3. I loved the memorial to her in the first Jurassic World. You see where I'm going with this.
I understand.
Charlotte Lockwood is a retcon character.
I know.
She did not exist before this movie.
Well, what's funny is, as you were saying that, it took me a second. I was thinking back. I'm like, where was she in the Lost World? And then I realized what you were doing. So, yes, I get it.
The problem with characters like Maisie is, so they introduce, if in this universe, if they can clone dinosaurs, they can absolutely clone people. Yeah,
exactly.
Obviously. But
with the cuttlefish DNA.
People didn't like it. So they're like, oh no, she can't be a clone. We got to change that in the next movie. So they retcon this super, there's like a 5-minute scene in the movie where Dr. Wu just, Charlotte Lockwood, she was the greatest scientist to ever live, so much better than me, and she could make dinosaurs so much better than I could, and
we never saw her.
So bad, but we never heard of her. She never existed. Total retcon. And you can tell she's a retcon, because in the first movie, when Benjamin Lockwood and Maisie were talking, she was like, was my mother ever to the park? She was, once. Mother effer, in Dominion, they say that she lived on the island.
Yeah. I think they just kind of sort of retconned the entire Fallen Kingdom movie.
Just like they retconned the entirety of Isla Sorna, never to be mentioned again.
Yeah. Well, whatever happened to the Spinosaurus aside from what we saw in Camp Cretaceous?
Eaten by a Megalodon.
That's not what happened.
Season 5 ain't out yet, Cap.
Exactly. So how would we know?
I don't know. One thing Dominion did quite well that Fallen Kingdom didn't do, and I hated it for, was so Fallen Kingdom introduced so many fan-favorite dinosaurs into the Jurassic franchise, finally. The Carnotaurus, the Allosaurus, the Baryonyx, the Stygimoloch, Sinoceratops, but never once in the movie does it name-drop any of those animals.
Can I also point out... sorry, I don't want to interrupt. Can I also point out the lack of consistency with the dinosaur sizes in that movie, in any of the movies, the late ones.
Absolutely.
Dude, the fucking Allosaurus and Carnotaurus, when they were in... I don't remember what they were, in Dominion. When he's on the bike, they are oversized.
Fucking huge. They were T-Rex sized.
Yeah, they were way oversized.
But I guess you could write that off as, they are black market,
yeah.
Sus, fucking probably not even literally Indominus clothes.
Well, and they were looking down. They were looking up at them from the ground. It was all depth perception,
Retcons. My favorite piece of Jurassic Fun Fact is on the Jurassic World website, back the promo website in 2015, it said the mosasaur was 60 feet long. Okay, that's accurate. That's how big mosasaurs really were. In the movie, though, people were with pixel measurements and stuff, they're like, that thing is 300 feet long at least. Because when it jumps up to eat the shark, right?
Yeah.
Then in Fallen Kingdom, when it jumps up to eat that guy off the helicopter, people are like, okay, its head alone is longer than that helicopter. So if we take the measurements on that, that's like an 800-foot mosasaurus. So for context, Godzilla in the newest MonsterVerse movies is 400 feet tall.
Yeah.
So this mosasaurus is twice the length of Godzilla. And it's okay, hold on. Reel it back a second here. Come on. You still could have did that scene and just had it be a lot smaller.
Well, and if you look at it, the whales that it's next to at the very end of Dominion, those were humpback whales.
I'm seething.
Well, so I know you sound upset about that. There is an explanation to that. It's a fan theory, but it makes sense. The reason, because if you listen to the mosasaur, it sounds like a whale, meaning...
Yes, they use whale DNA.
Whale DNA,
okay,
exactly.
Wow. You know what mosasaurs are related to in real life?
No.
Crocodiles.
Cringe. They are related to monitor lizards,
That too.
like Komodo dragons. So
Oh yeah, obviously.
I'm gonna look at this. Let's say I'm going to clone a rhinoceros. So instead of getting DNA from something vaguely related to a rhinoceros, like a hippo or a horse or something like that, I'm gonna fill in that rhino DNA with hedgehog DNA, and it's gonna be the most accurate thing ever.
It's going to just think it's a big hedgehog. That's all.
My other problem with it is it almost felt like a slap in the face to the Jurassic Park Telltale game, which I adore. I fucking love that game.
Haven't played it. Watched it though.
It name-dropped Mount Sibo, and that's how it got its name in official canon, the volcano.
Mm-hmm.
And the basic premise is you play as Dr. Harding and his daughter.
Yeah.
As the events of the first movie unfold. It's a little bit cheesy and questionably written, but it's a fun it's a fun game. It's just a good time overall. But in that game, there's a mosasaurus, or in that game it's called a tylosaurus.
Yeah.
And again, its design is much better than the one in Jurassic World, all I gotta say. But there's this whole debate between Dr. Harding and Dr. Sorkin, where she's like, we gotta release it, it's gonna die in here. And he's like, release it? Do you have any idea what impact that would have on the ocean? It's gonna eat the last of the humpbacks? And then in Jurassic World Dominion, the mosasaurus is vibing with the humpbacks, and I'm like, what? Is this a direct slap in the face to people who played that game?
Yeah.
It would have been so cool if it was eating that humpback whale.
Well, and they wanted to show that the dinosaurs were going to be able to coexist with the normal animals, because you see Sinoceratops walked along with elephants, and you see other animals hanging out with the dinosaurs and whatnot.
All right, how about a pitch for one real final Jurassic World movie, and it's called Jurassic World Extinction.
Yes.
I had a feeling you were gonna say something about extinction.
Yeah.
Have you ever read the Lost World novel, Cap?
No, actually, I haven't gotten to that one.
You haven't got to that one. There's 2 books in the series.
I haven't gotten to that one. Okay, I haven't gotten there.
On Fire, have you read the Lost World novel?
I don't read books.
No, look at Kraken reading books.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, I would rather just.
So in the Lost World novel, which by the way, completely different than the movie, and debatably somehow even worse? ? There is, at the very end of the book, it's revealed that every dinosaur on Isla Sorna is dying. The InGen workers who were there before they abandoned ship were feeding them corrosive lamb meat, which contains something called the DX virus, which is basically super rabies, and it was spreading to all of the animals. Because so the carnivores ate the meat, they got it. When they die, just like in The Lion King, when they die, they go into the plants, and then the herbivores eat the plants, and then they get rabies. So it was revealed that basically no matter what, they were all gonna die. And of course, at the end of the first novel, they essentially nuke the island. So there's no more dinosaurs. So in this new Jurassic World movie, how about this? And I pitched this on Twitter right after seeing Fallen Kingdom, I think. So you have Dr. Wu, who had just released the locust to kill off the locust population. And it turns out that it spreads to the dinosaurs from the locusts. And now all the dinosaurs are rapidly dying off due to this DX virus. And, we just learned how to coexist. How are we going to live without dinosaurs? But then, you know what happens?
They die.
They all died at the end.
Maisie is a clone. Just like the dinosaurs and just like the locusts.
Oh, so she dies too.
She gets the virus, but because she's a human, it spreads to other humans. It's Jurassic World Extinction because everything effing dies.
So basically, it turns into a zombie movie.
No, On Fire, that's Jurassic World 8. Jurassic World The Last of Us.
Jurassic World Infection.
Went from
Jurassic World
dinosaurs
300
to
days
zombies.
later.
Then we get a zombie dinosaur movie.
The
That'd
Train to
actually kinda
Busan.
Oh, let's go. We're setting up the next trilogy here, guys. Zombie dinosaurs. Oh, I wonder what Michael Crichton would think of zombie dinosaurs.
I don't know. But in other news, I'm good to wrap this up and everybody else's.
Cap is a lightweight confirmed. Fantastic.
I am not. It's not because of alcoholic reasons.
Sure, it is Cap.
Listen, I
Sure.
told you I had something
Might have
going
been-
on after this.
It might have been one of the few podcasts where we actually had a serious conversation for a long period of time without getting completely off topic.
Well,
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, the very
I did.
beginning was
I
a
did
bit
too.
spotty, but yeah.
Yeah, but once we actually got on topic.
Wow, and we hit
that's
1
all it was
hour.
pretty nice.
Officially, 1 hour and 1 minute.
All right, so we gonna like do that outro.
Yeah, Kraken, take it away. You started the intro, you exit the outro.
Well,
Makes
I mean, I think that's pretty much all that we got for today, guys. Cap is a lightweight, and he's had too much to
I
drink. He's
am
got to go
not.
lay down. And-
No, I will play Halo. Thank you very much.
No, Cap, you do the outro. I don't want to do it.
Yeah, I was about to say, Cap, you're probably gonna need to do the outro
Oh,
if you want to get
me?
through this.
Okay. Well, that's gonna be it for this episode today, guys. Thank you so much for coming to hang out with us and actually listening to this serious conversation that doesn't require me and Kraken to start fighting like we always do.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, it's shocking. I
Wait,
know.
we could get Vin Diesel for
Shocking.
Jurassic World Extinction.
Okay.
Oh gosh, no, end it now.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the podcast. Follow us on Spotify. Check us out on YouTube. Kraken's gonna
The
have that
infection
up.
is strong, but not as strong as family.
Kraken will have that episode up at some point next month. And with that, we will check you guys out in the next video. Of course, you can reach on Fire on YouTube, Kraken on YouTube, and myself on Twitch and YouTube. Peace out, everyone, and have a good rest of your night day.
Night day.
Good night.
Day.